Hi LGN friends, I am Flávio Batalha from Lean Institute Brazil, and I am the coordinator of the Lean Healthcare Initiative. The Healthcare Initiative was created in 2015 with the purpose of putting some institutes that were working with healthcare, putting those institutes together and try to create ways to learn together and think together. How could we improve the way we help organizations to transform using Lean in healthcare? So the first year we worked as a virtual group, then we transformed ourselves into a physical group. We did several travels, several trips to meet ourselves during the year of 2016. We went to different gambas together, we coached some companies together, and we learned a lot. So we used this opportunity to collect some data and to compare some cases and trying to find what we consider to be the guiding principles or the key successful dimensions that a healthcare organization should consider to reduce the time they need to create the Lean capability. We found those 5 guiding principles and we tried to document it right in a white paper. So we'd like to invite you to read this white paper and discuss with us what kind of thoughts, what kind of ideas that come to your mind, or so we can learn together, and maybe those principles can be used in the different sectors, not just healthcare. We hope you like it.
I'm often asked if you need the CEO to personally lead before you can start a Lean transformation. In our experience, a CEO can be supportive or even indifferent and neutral as long as they're not negative. In fact, many organizations get started without the CEO personal involvement from the beginning. And so as you begin, what they're looking for generally is a proof of concept. How does this apply in my organization, in my business, in my sector? And so initially we often start with what we'll call quick wins and proof of concept to bring people along. With that, the CEO and the other leaders gets increasingly engaged and interested as the improvement leads to business results and an engaged workforce. So the CEO then starts to pull, to learn more and get more personally involved and even publicly support this way of thinking and doing. The point is, you don't need the CEO to lead personally to start your transformation, but ultimately that's the goal.
On the other hand, we found out that it's critical to involve key physicians and area managers, since this is a stable workforce and they know the work very well. Having them on their side, on the side of the transformation, is the key element, one of the key elements for the success of the transformation process.
The right place to start, of course, depends on what's going on in your organization and what's going on with its leaders. So it's situational. We try to select something that is important to the leadership, the CEO, the business, and align and tackle those key business problems. And so even as you're developing the local folks and the leaders, you're choosing something that the business needs to correct and improve. So you want to balance the approach, of course, with both social and technical aspects of Lean, and so you're developing people and bringing them along while you're solving the problem at hand, probably using a technical approach. You're also trying to create a focal point of learning, and often you'll hear about model lines or model cells being created so you can go deep in an area to set an example within an organization for people to understand in a whole systemic problem.
Make it your own problem is another guiding principle that we have found in our research. It's crucial to be emotionally attached to the problem you're trying to solve by transformation process. We found that leaders and chief architects that are emotionally involved are much more successful in involving others. That's why we say that it's very important to understand why you are here, why you are leading this transformation process, why it's important to you personally.
This concept we explored from a couple of angles. The first is to help our leaders own their problems. It's our role as practitioners to develop leaders and teams to solve problems, not take that responsibility away from them and solve their problems for them. This can be super frustrating, especially when we know the solutions and we know we could do it faster, but this approach won't address ownership of improvement or long-term sustainability. Rolling up our sleeves and getting involved in the early stages is important to build relationships and help us learn, but it won't help our leaders in the longer term. As they get stronger and more independent in improvement, we need to start the weaning process and create a supportive environment for leaders to take the lead in improvement. The other way of looking at this principle is for us as improvement practitioners to look at the problems we're facing and through reflection acknowledge our own part in these problems. So many times I hear from my colleagues or practitioners in organisations I work with, if only I could get leaders to do X, or if only leaders would behave differently. My response to this is that we have no control over what others do, but what could we do differently? What could we try as practitioners that would help our leaders? Sometimes bringing in some fresh eyes to help us reflect can be really useful in this process.
The guiding principle, the right knowledge for the right people at the right time, actually says for itself. The right knowledge. We don't need only tools. We also need mindset, the right mindset, and the right culture, let's say. That's why choosing how and what to teach people, you need to keep this in mind. Not only the tools, but also to create the right culture in the organization.
What you want to not do is teach what they cannot use right away. It's easy to forget how to apply what you've learned if there's a lot of distance between when you learn it and when you can apply it. But if you can learn and apply it right away, you will retain and grow your capability. So teach just in time for the problem at hand. So how do we do that? Well, you create structured activities to allow practice and to build these habits, and create enough challenge and tension to generate learning in the learner. This builds confidence as well as competence. In healthcare, we talk about a group of the right people would be our physicians or other clinicians. Of course, you're looking for the right attributes: flexibility, humility, perseverance, self-reflection, and respect.
Nosotros cuando planteamos una transformación, nosotros no queremos hacer nada. Siempre le decimos a la gente, nosotros queremos dos cosas: una, no hacer nada, y la segunda cosa, irnos lo antes posible. Vale, desde el punto de vista de marketing no es muy bueno, ya lo sé, pero es nuestro modelo. Claro, ¿esto cómo lo podemos conseguir? Creando agentes del cambio. Lo primero siempre es el apoyo de la dirección. ¿Y cómo vamos a poder tener el apoyo de la dirección? Que se lo crean, que lo vean, que lo vivan. Por eso hacemos estas jornadas de cross-fertilization. Ya hace un tiempo el volumen de hospitales que había por Cataluña era importante, empezaban importante, ya son más de 2, ya son muchos. Con lo cual pues empezamos a tener la idea, igual que hacemos en cualquier otro sector, de que se cruzarían entre sí. Nosotros no somos nadie, somos waste, somos un intermediario entre el conocimiento y la experiencia. Ellos tienen el conocimiento y otros tienen la experiencia. Pero hay otros que tienen problemas, que todavía no tienen el conocimiento y la experiencia. Hay que ponerles en contacto.
We believe that knowledge comes from practical experiences. Some things can only be learned by doing. Cross-pollination is a way to leverage and speed up learning, and it has many faces in different levels. At IOV, we use cross-pollination to learn and adapt from different industries, from technology to auto parts. We also developed in-company cross-pollination in several ways, using lean days, Kaizen shifts, and model lines to learn, share, and celebrate knowledge. We also cross-pollinate within our industry with several other healthcare organizations, going to the Gamba together and learning how to see and how to solve problems, coaching and supporting their learning initiatives. In this study, cross-pollination was a major driver to foster and accelerate learning and development of Lean communities, and is also one big driver at IOV Lean Journey. From our perspective, it is the easiest way to learn how to see.
We just finished the white paper. Now we need something from you. The first thing that we need is your interest. Second thing that we need is to read the white paper. Then we think that we are ready for the next deliverables, because white paper was just the first one. In order to do that, we make some initiatives, like for example the survey. Then, of course, next step is to meet us in Barcelona, to meet your ideas, to meet your needs, in order to help us to make better and next deliverables. See you there.